Goigar, my fellow Mandalorians. Welcome back to the Mango Station. Today, or rather last night, we got Darth Malak event Starforge Showdown. And that is right, your Mango leader, King of Bongos, has unlocked him. I'm just going to do a quick video today about how I got Darth Malak. Let me tell you, it wasn't really easy without doing research beforehand. I failed a few times and decided I needed help with this event. And that's why I decided to also make this video for you guys, to help you out. Now first off, you're going to need, in order to open the event, both Revans. Not just one, but both, in order to just look at the event. Next, you're going to need every member of your team to be at least 17,500 GP in order to attempt it. That means Gear 10 with 5A mods and all abilities unlocked, with a Zeta, or you'll need Gear 12 with all abilities outside the Zeta, and either 6 dot or 5A mods. It doesn't matter the stats at that point, you just need the power to unlock. Now that you have unlocked the event, the stats do matter. So let me tell you and show you the mods I used. The setup is fairly simple. I used the exact same 5 loadout mods for both dark side and light side battles. I found it interesting and it worked well too. Kind of the same mantra for both sides, I feel. For light side, which is the hardest side, I had 3 basic goals. Give Zalbar as much speed as possible, Jolee as much health and speed as possible, and then everyone else got straight offense as the primary focus. I gave Jedi Knight Revan speed on top of offense because I felt the set gave him before was a little too slow. So first let's start with Bastila Shan, who I also used Darth Revan minus the circle since he is in Gear 12. I focused on health as well as offense for them. Next, I gave Jedi Knight Revan, who shared the loadout with Fallen Bastila Shan, a set of offense mods and potency, basically just to increase damage and maintain some speed. Jolee, I shared his loadout with Juhani. I made sure he had lots of health and speed to increase those assists and cleanses for the team. Mission shared her loadout with HK-47. Pure offense, not much speed, but I wanted her and HK to hit as hard as possible without too much crits. And last, Zalbar. He shared his loadout with Carth for my team. I didn't really do much for Carth, but for Zalbar it was key. I gave him nothing but pure speed. I wanted him to go first so he could start giving out armor shred on Darth Malak. Now for this event, I had my teams with Bastila Shan at Gear 12, Jedi Knight Revan at Gear 12, Jolee at Gear 11, Mission at Gear 12, and Zalbar at Gear 11. On the dark side, I had Darth Revan at Gear 11, Fallen Bastila Shan at Gear 12, Juhani at Gear 12, HK-47 at Gear 11, and Carth at Gear 10. I don't really care about Carth. Now let's start the battles, and I'm going to show you the hardest part first, which is the light side battle. Okay, so here we go with some dialogue, and Malak takes the first punch. Mainly you would want Zalbar to go first so he can get that armor shred on Malak right away. However, I didn't do that because I found that I couldn't get Zalbar high enough speed to compensate for the amount of speed that Revan would be losing. So I got Revan to go first and target that droid right away. And once that mark's gone, I decided to go with my armor shred on Malak. Yep, there we go with the armor shred, and it killed the droid. You want to make sure you kill those droids because they take out stacks of on Malak that raises his enrage. At 30 stacks he enrages and you basically lose the fight. So you want to take out as many droids as possible to keep those stacks in check. And so that's one aspect of this light side battle that you need to focus on. Another aspect is the first right Jedi in stasis. to be absorbed first. You need him to be the weakest out of the 4 there, so that way he's taken first from Malak, because that way it prevents you from doing crits on Malak and then causing fear, which happens a lot to my my mission. I have mission doesn't have her Zeta, so I gave all my assists to mission. Ideally, you would want mission Zeta just so that way you can put your assists on Zalbar, because mission will then assist with him, and then therefore you get 2 attacks with 1, and then so on and so forth. But I don't have that, so mission got my attacks, all my assists. And there's my second armor shred. You want about 4, at least 4. I got away with 4 to win this. However, the more armor shreds you have, the better, because then that means when it comes time to actually do damage to Malak, he's going to be taking a lot of damage, and then therefore you can whittle down his health a lot quicker rather than having to prolong this the battle. Now you see here, Malak has 13, now 14 stacks, and you want to make sure that you bring them down. Of course, whenever you kill one of the Jedi in stasis, that also brings it down, but that brings the last phase of the battle, and you want to make sure you're in a good spot for that. Here's another armor shred attempt, and I didn't get it. Yeah, I'm using a lot of marks just so that way I can make sure I'm focusing on the droid, and I feel that when I use my marks, that gets the droid killed a lot quicker. Another aspect of this is to try to get Malak to absorb the most right, the tenacity guy Jedi, with so that way you can apply some blind and some debuffs. Otherwise, you're going to get some nasty effects from giving him some debuffs, and you don't want that. Yeah, I'm getting way too high on my stacks on Malak, so I need to focus on the droids in order to just keep bringing them down. The faster I can bring them down, the better off I am. Look at that. That droid went down pretty quickly. I like that. He resisted another one of my armor shreds. Keep my cleanses on anyone who has a lot of debuffs. Helps. Doesn't work with fear, but it definitely helps. I attack Malak every once in a while whenever I have no droids, because I don't want to kill off the Jedis until I want to actually do that. Until I got it correct, rotation, and focused. Problem is, sometimes the droids don't pop back up right away, so therefore I have to attack Malak. Whittle down that Jedi. Alright, come on. Armor, and yep, armor got stuck. However, that Jedi is looking really low. Obviously, I'm doing a voiceover. I already know how this event goes, but I figured I'd do it anyways. Take out that other droid, bring down the stacks. stacks are looking better, no longer high teens. I want to bring it down to lower than 10 before I take it to the final phase. A lot of people try to bring it down more, however, I was not seeing that I was going to keep up with taking out the droids fast enough against Malak to bring it down too much lower than 10, so I ended up bringing it down to, well, you'll see in a moment. And I killed that Jedi, which was fine. It's okay to kill that Jedi. It's just when you're doing debuffs, you don't want to kill him, so that way you can bring your debuffs in. I got Malak at 10. Let's see if I can bring it down some more. Yep, and there's another one, back to 10. Alright, now we got less than 10. Hopefully we can start, but I still got 3 armor shreds. You want at least 4. Alright, we're gonna get that 4th? Nope, not yet. And stacks are going right back up. I need to kill a Jedi or something to get those stacks back down. Let's see if I can get that. The ability block that Bastila does on the droids help, because then they can't get their buffs. And their buffs, you know, they also get protection up, and it's just annoying to do. That armor shred. You want to make sure you don't put them on the droids, otherwise you're wasting them. There we go. And that one gives him speed up, which I did not like. However, it still worked out in the end. And let's see, can I get this? Yep, there it is. And I got rid of that Jedi, which brought his down a little bit more. Now, at this point, you want to make sure you get his health down and it stays down below 50%, because if he goes, every single time he goes below 50%, his drain force gets reset. And then if he gets back up to 50%, you have to bring it back down, and then his drain force resets, and then you're in an infinite loop. And so you want to make sure, like right there, that sucked because it brought it back up to 50%, and you do not want him to keep doing that. So if you can get him below 50% and it stays below 50%, like right here, it didn't go to 50, it didn't go above 50%. That's awesome. You, after that, just hammer him, just hammer him with attacks, because it didn't reset, and you're good. You can, and you have a few turns before drain force comes back, and if you can beat him in time, amazing. Because look right here, he is so close to dying. And there we go. There's Darth Malak. He is dead. Alright, so here's some dialogue, and now we're going to go to the dark side. So for the dark side, I found this to be a little bit easier. I was told in my guild to basically keep killing the droids. Don't worry about the stasis Jedi. Just keep hammering the droids, rack up that ferocity on Darth Revan, and keep killing them until you can one-shot the droids with Darth Revan. Because that's when you can really start doing some major damage to Darth Malak. So I kind of forgot to press record on this one at the very start. However, I realized it, and you're not too far into the battle already. You're maybe like a minute, a couple turns. I already killed a couple of the droids a couple times and got my stacks of ferocity up quite a bit. I mean, not quite a bit, but enough. So at least I remembered better than when I did the Padme event, where it was only the last 30 seconds. So as you can see here, my stacks are up to 21 and now 24 with Darth Revan, and he's still not able to one-shot the droids. So you don't need to worry about really doing too much mechanics. The killing the droids will be enough to keep Malak's enrage in check. I was able to do pretty well damage against Malak, and so he already took his first Jedi. And I just keep hammering the droids, and that's what it is. It's pretty simple. Hammer the droids, etc., etc., etc. Killing the Jedi also brings up the stacks of ferocity on Darth Revan. So as you can see, I'm starting to do a little bit more damage on the droids, so therefore I can focus on the Jedi and bring this closer to an end. Carth was alright. He wasn't that big of a, need. Kind of sucks, to be honest. At least on this event. Juhani was there just to give me some taunts in case Darth Revan is close to almost dying. Gives me an extra turn. Stuff like that. Here I'm just checking what exactly I get and make sure that he won't get. And I mean, it's just rinse and repeat on this one. I mean, look at his stacks. His stacks is at a 2. It was at 1 earlier. It's now at a 2, 3. I mean, that's what happens when you just keep taking out those droids. He just goes through so much, and therefore you're able to make the event a little easier and not have to worry about his stacks. Some people didn't realize that, and so they got really close to his enrage before they wound up getting their Malak, but I was able to just keep mine down. I watched a couple videos on it. I watched mainly Arnold's, and then my guild told me about this one, how to keep the stacks down and just stack up the ferocity. Lost Juhani, but she's really not that important. It's really just Darth Revan that's the most important. Lost Carth there, but it's fine. And look at that. I got his health is less than 50%. He wasn't gonna come back from that. 63. ferocity was what I wound up ending with. Did well. Anyways, that's pretty much it. That's how I got him. And so, until next time, guys, stay juicy.